Alright, so how to build a guitar rack stand. That's what we're covering today. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show you how to build this guitar rack stand. And if you can see behind me on the wall, that's complete. And I'll dig into that. We'll go through all of it. Alright, so stick around for that. Okay, well hello, I'm Don with the bass instructor of the How to Play Bass online course at iwannnaPlayBass.com, and this is my YouTube channel for everything bass and music. So subscribe, hit that bell notification, get in the loop, and don't miss a beat. Alright, so we are going over how to build a guitar stand. Now I've got a few videos here. We're going to break down, we're going to go through from scratch, from start to finish, everything you need. Just a couple of details in here. I'll break the videos down to show you, but you know, when we're installing this bad boy, that one's 31 inches long, 31 inches wide, so you can put two guitars on there and have room for it. And I went high with it because I'm going to eventually build another one down below here that's going to run them right along the lower level here. I might do stagger them, so you know, just to help you get these things off the floor and get you some more space in your studio is the idea, to having wall hangers, not just guitar stands sitting there, because they're still taking up space. So the more floor space you have, just the better off things are. So like I say, since we're holding, you know, they're holding some precious materials there, so you want to make sure when you're putting those up that you screw them into studs. You don't want to just run it in drywall, because like I say, once you start hanging your bass, my 5-string there is 10 pounds. So you put two of those on there, and when I run this one across here, it might be 3 or 4 of them on one rack. You want to make sure they're secured into a stud there, so they don't come off the wall. Just because the drywall there is going to fall right out. Now typically depending on what wall you're building this on, typically that's an exterior wall right there. That'll be 16 inches. Every 16 inches there's going to be a stud. So you can figure, once you find one stud, you know with 16 inches left or right, you're going to have another stud in that vicinity. So it's on center, so 16 inches is the center. So it's kind of hard to tell that if you're in the center of that stud that you find. So you just kind of get in the area and then you just tap around. You can hear the hollowness or the solidness in there. And being a bass player and all the ear training we do, we can hear these things a little better than just any normal person. So, or anybody that doesn't dig music too much, or you know, give a lot of attention to the ear training and stuff like that. So you're lucky, you'll be able to find that a lot easier. Once you find those studs, like I say, and that's an exterior wall, 16 inches. Now if it's an interior wall, possibly not a load bearing wall, then there's a chance that it's going to be 24 inches on center. So you'll know, so you'll go, you know, find that first stud, or find a corner or an end wall and pull from the right or the left, and just know that once you find that stud, that's where you go. If you go from that left or right, 24 inches or 16 inches, because you don't know if it's a load bearing wall. So we can assume 24 inches or 16 inches to get you in the area, just so you're not wandering aimlessly trying to find this stud. Or you go purchase you a stud finder. I've got one of those. That helps also, but I know where they were. I was just tapping it out. And then once you find an area where it'll get a little more solid, you just go ahead and run a drill bit in there or screw to see, because sometimes it'll get solid as you get closer to the stud. It doesn't mean you're on that stud. So once you find that stud, figure out this is where you're going to have this mounted, and there's enough material there to cover it. So you just run a couple holes till you know you hit something. Once you hit a stud, it'll pull that screw in. So you'll know. If you just hit in drywall, you'll feel it. Once you get through, it'll just push through. So you'll know, you'll feel that stud and it'll pull that screw in. It won't push it through, and you'll feel the resistance there once you find that stud. So that's some important stuff to know. I didn't videotape me actually hanging the thing. And if you got any questions, leave me a comment down below, and I'll be glad to help you out on there. Now, a couple of things with it, and I added some nice little. Hang on a second, let me get them. Got a couple nice little hooks in there as well. which I've done to hang your cables, get those off the floor. You can just keep everything nice and put up there. Not just put one up there, but there's room. You can put 2 or 3 of them up there and hang stuff. And you can even, there's enough meat on the top side of that you can put something decorative up there if you wanted. There's just, there's plenty of room. There's a lot of options and a lot of neat stuff you can do with it. So that is it. That's your guitar wall hanger, how to build it, and that's what we'll get into. So I'm gonna break it down for you. And like I said, if you got any questions or anything, leave me a comment, and look forward to hearing from you. Okay. All right. Well, we're headed to the garage, and now we are out here behind the shed, getting ready to cut some of the wood to get this bad boy going. Let me find a good spot. Well, here, I'll let you see what we've got going on. So what we've got here is our, paintable piece of plywood. We'll put that back so we can give it a nice clean look, paint it up, and then I will step that. So let me cut this bad boy, make sure everything's square. Put your square up on there just to double check that everything's square. Sometimes they get put away and get bent around, but there's your dial right there, but just double check it to make sure it's square. So here's our square line, 31 inches. We're just going to put this for 2 bases, and then we'll just go with that like so. Make sure she's seated flat too. If it's not seated flat on there, you're going to get a bad cut as well. Now we come on into the garage. We got a couple of nice pieces of stain grade. It's oak. They're stain grade. You can just to give it a little color. So we'll cut this down in a couple pieces, and then we've got another piece, nice stain grade piece of material here that we can cut as well. We'll cut it to 31 inches as well. Give us a little more depth off of the back wall, because you got your tuning keys and all that stuff that might get in the way. So the 2.5, actually 1.5, this is 1.5, might not be enough, so we'll add another 1/2 inch to pad it out off of the wall. Okay, so we'll make a couple cuts, make a couple measurements, and I'll get back with you. You funny boy. You funny, buddy. Alright, so how we're going to do this is just put that there, and we'll put these blocks on the outside here, okay? So we're going to raise them up like that. And then we'll take another one. We know we need 2.25 inches for the neck width. And that's pretty standard. That's a pretty safe bet for most of you, unless you got like a 6-string or something. This is even the 2.25. The 5-string fits in there. That's the biggest size, so that's what I went with. So 18 7/8. I'm sorry, 18 3/8. 18 3/8. All right. I don't know how I'm supposed to throw it if you won't let go of it. Huh? You want to make a line just so you can see it on your saw blade, just to check that you're cutting in the right spot. That's this is a miter saw, so it's going to cut a straight line, but you want a line just so you can make sure, because if you put your crow's foot back here, you put the saw blade down, you can't see if you're really lined up good. But with a line, you can see that, hey, right there, the saw blade is right there, so we're good. You always safety first, so you want to have your goggles making these cuts. Safety first. Can I have it? Can I have it? Okay. Oh, okay. You ready? You ready? Okay, go get it. You pretty boy, all right. You're a pretty boy, all right. Then we take, no, so it's gonna go right in the center like that. Give us just enough width for our neck. Two and a quarter. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and sand these up. So we did a little sanding. All right, so we did a little sanding, a little stain on this thing. Let's see, we got red oak, I got cognac, I got dark walnut. I think I'm gonna go with the cognac. Be back. We sanded it up just so it would take the stain a little better. Just smooth it up, dust it off, and clean it off real good. Just take your little rag. Just make sure your stain has been sitting for a little while, so mix it up a little bit. Good shaking. Put it on even, but it'll soak it up. The wood will soak it up. You want to try to not run over top of where you've already put it down because it will get darker. So just get the whole piece covered evenly. So all right, so there we've got a nice little stain piece right there. Watch out if you drip some. Stuff's hard to get off your fingers, so you get you some Gojo. Get it on there fresh. If it sits on there, it's New Year's Eve. And we're going out to eat, so I don't want to stain all over my hands. It might be too late. Might be too late. And by the way, Happy New Year. Hope you get all your resolutions and everything you plan. Work out. Just whatever you do, don't stop. Just remember that. Don't stop. Just keep on. Keep on keeping on. So what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to go back and use my router and router the edges here, all of them, just to give it a nice clean look, nice design, and you'll see that when I'm done. But what we've got to do, before you screw these in to this, what we're going to do is we're going to pre-drill this into here. We're going to screw these to here, right? And I'm going to go and clean this up a little bit because you want your guitar to sit down in there nice, you know, curve. You just sit right on here, and you could slide off. So I'm going to cut it down. You'll see. I'm going to find out. Well, maybe I'll just sand it down. Take my belt sander and just take off a corner so it sits down in there nice and safe like. And so we'll pre-drill everything. Pre-drill this into here, and then we'll pre-drill it from the back here into here. So this will all be one piece. And then when we go to mount it, I'll dig into that but we're going to mount it. That's why we made such a big base of the back. So it's got a lot of, you can put a few holes, a few screws into the studs there, because you want it to be solid. It's going to be holding 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 20 pounds at least. Unfortunately, my base is, one of them is pretty heavy, so it's not good, but not good for my back, but it works. So yeah, this is going to screw to the wall. Once I put everything together, screw to the wall. But let me router everything, and I'll get back. We'll see the finished product soon. Now, a couple of things I noticed when I was putting in there. I built the pockets for it so the guitars would sit down in there. They're not just sitting on that ledge, with any vibration they could slide off. So I built, as you saw, the pockets I built in there. I just noticed that most of your basses, you see how most of your basses are, right-handed basses are going to have this. They're a little off here. So when I hang the basses up in there, they hang a little, they're not perfectly vertical. They're not perfectly plumb. They got a little slide to them. Maybe it's just me, or maybe it's not that noticeable. But what I've done is I've put a little cushion up there, just a little padding that'll help bring that up just a little bit to make those hang plumb and not off a little bit, because that was just annoying, just aggravating me. So I've padded out, just it helps to cushion the up against the wood, wood on wood, just hanging on there. Especially these, we take a lot of pride in our basses. We don't want to just be nicking them up for the heck of it, but people pay for that stuff. But let's try to take care of our stuff, and so I've got a little pad up there that help lift it up a little bit. It still sits back in the pocket enough to keep it's not going to fall off, and it keeps it nice and plumb. Hopefully that was a little informative for you, and you got some value out of that. Like I said, if you did, help you hit that like button, and I'll catch y'all on the flip flop in the next video.